Welcome to Meet Me Halfway. I'm Jordan Griffith. He is Austin McNorton. We've been debating on whether I should clap to open up the show. I'm going to keep clapping because that's just something I naturally do.
It's a statement. You've done it every time. You got to keep doing it.
It's true. There's no reason for it. It's just something I do. Okay. We got a jam-packed show for you guys. We have everything going on. Austin's wearing an ugly jersey.
Right.
We're actually going to start the show off with soccer. We're going to talk a lot of Kawhi Leonard's move going to L.A., but not the L.A. that he's wearing on his shirt there. Talking about the home run derby that is tonight. And then top 5 most exciting plays in baseball, or excuse me, in sports, rather. And then top 5 favorite pizzas. So, Austin, how you doing? Say hello to the people.
Well, I'm doing great. Kawhi is not in the purple and gold, but it's fine. It's going to be a tremendous NBA season. It really is. Oh my goodness!
Excuse me, that hurt. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's brutal. Sorry. No, it's going to be a great NBA season, so I'm intrigued.
It's going to be great. It's a very even league that we're talking about now, but we'll get to that. So let's start off the USA women's win the World Cup, beating the Netherlands 2-0 yesterday. This is a big deal. This is the second time they've won it back-to-back years now. I'm not sure who they beat last year. I'm not a huge soccer guy.
2015. 2015 was the last time they won.
2015?
Mm-hmm. It's every 4 years.
See? Okay, last year. You know what I meant.
I knew what you meant.
Right, okay. That shows you what I know about soccer. So this team has come under a lot of fire with celebrations against, Taiwan, I believe, when they were up 12-0, celebrating after every single goal like it was nothing, like they were winning the World Series. And then Alex Morgan's celebration against Great Britain in the semifinals, sipping the tea after the goal celebration. And then they win yesterday 2-0. Austin, a question that a lot of people have been talking about, is this women's team too cocky? Or, in other words, do you like the way that they've handled themselves for the USA team?
I mean, we talked about it after they won 13-0 in that first game a little bit about how, just you and I personally, we talked about it. And my thought is like some of these girls on these teams have never played in a World Cup game. This is the biggest event in soccer. Like you were saying, not a big soccer guy, but here we are talking about it because this is the biggest event there is in soccer. So I understand some of the celebrations with it. The problem is there's a lot of stereotypes towards just the country itself of America being this kind of way. But personally, I don't really care. I think some people get way too bent out of shape about it. They just like to look at the negative side of things rather than the fact that we are now the best women's soccer team in the entire world. No one can argue that. We just proved it. We just beat some of the we've just proven it twice. Our head coach is the only head coach ever to win 2 World Cups and back-to-back. And so it's like I don't really get that all bent out of shape about it. We're the best in the world. I think we're allowed to celebrate a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with the sports side of this with you there. That you score a goal, it's in a big stage. You should have the right.
It's not easy to score a goal in soccer either.
Right, exactly. You have the right to celebrate, but these are different. In my eyes, these are different circumstances because these women and this men's team as well. Okay, they're representing me. They're representing you. They're representing everyone that lives in this country. It's bigger than you to go out and celebrate when you're up 12-0 and celebrate like you just won a Super Bowl, scoring a 12th goal to a team that you've already beaten 20 minutes ago. I do not like being represented with an Alex Morgan celebration of sipping tea against Great Britain. We are already there's not a very high value to the American culture around the world. People don't like how Americans act. They are very stereotypical. The fact that they think we're cocky, fat, just arrogant Americans. And this women's team proved them right. They did a lot of things that I think...
Even though it may not be true. Like, even though it's what it looks like.
Right. Even though obviously we don't believe that to be true. But when you have a girl like Alex Morgan, who is the face of soccer in the United States for the women, she is the face. Rapinoe might be right now too. Those two are the face of soccer for the world right now. And they go out and they do those sort of things that make us look like we've been how people have been looking at us for years now. This country, this is bigger than just sports. This isn't just you can celebrate just because you scored a goal. I care what the worldview is of the United States. This stuff impacts that. This is how big the World Cup is. Literally, yeah. World Cup. This is not a United States thing where we can shove it, you just shove it in the opponent's face. I just scored on you. Suck it. It's not like that. You can't be doing those sort of things. I like the way they handle them, but more importantly, I don't like the way they represented me.
That's understandable. I don't really get all that bent out of shape about it, and I know you're not either. You're just going from the standpoint of what a lot of others are saying.
I just don't think that this women's team understood the impact of their actions across the world. Us, I have no problems if you walk the walk, if you talk the talk, you walk the walk. They did that more so. I mean, they've won 2 World Cups now. That's fine. You can talk smack as long as you back it up. But this really did not make us look even worse than we already look in the worldview. That is what I don't think that they can. I don't think they grasp that correctly.
Yeah, I understand that, but world champs, so I'm happy.
Hey, USA. I mean, I can't be too upset. So
that's true.
All right. Moving on to the NBA, the most important move and the most polarizing move of the NBA free agency, Kawhi Leonard going to the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers then trading for Paul George from the Oklahoma City Thunder, a guy that no one ever talked about in the free agency. No one ever talked about for the past year when it comes to free agency or getting traded.
No one even thought it was a possibility. That's why it's taking so it's like, why isn't Kawhi decide? Why isn't Kawhi decide? Oh, I'm just buying my time until the Thunder can get him out to whatever team, whether it be in Toronto, whether it be in the Clippers, and I'm going to go with him. That's what he was waiting on. That's what we were waiting on, and we didn't know it. No one knew. Unreal.
So in return, Clippers obtain Paul George. Thunder get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, and they get 4 first-round picks.
Unbelievable.
I believe, or maybe it was 5. I think it was 4 unprotected. I think 1 was protected.
Yes.
Something of that sorts. I think they got 5.
That sounds right. That sounds right. 5 in total.
I believe that's what it was. Wow. I mean, this was absolutely just a bombshell to wake up to that morning. So, the first question, I have a lot to unpack here.
There is a lot to unpack.
Yeah. Are the Clippers the favorite to win it all and or get out of the Western Conference?
I think it's definitely going to be a top 3 team in the NBA. I would say so. I mean, Kawhi's proved himself over the years, and everyone knows what Paul George is capable of. I don't know about his injuries, some of that, but everyone knows how good he can be, how capable he is. I think, and I've thought this back when he played in Indiana, I thought if he's 100% healthy, he's one of the top 5 players in the league. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's just truly that good, just that skilled. You can tell he's passionate about the game. And so for him to be able to make a move and say, hey, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to play with a guy who I really respect. We're both from L.A. We're both playing for an L.A. team. This is an opportunity I can't pass up. I mean, he told that to the Thunder. He's like, I can't pass this opportunity up. I think him and Kawhi are going to be out there with one purpose and one purpose only, to be the new team in LA, to take over the Lakers, and to win the NBA championship. So I think they got to be one of the favorites. I mean, how can they not be with what Kawhi just showed us? Kawhi just showed us he's got to be one of the top 3 best players in the NBA last year. He has to be on that list right now. And so I think they have to be one of the favorites. Adding another superstar, they have to be one of the favorites.
Another thing that's very interesting is So I can't think of the year right now, but Paul George is drafted by the Indiana Pacers. In the following NBA draft, Kawhi Leonard was also drafted by the Indiana Pacers, but then traded to the Spurs for George Hill. Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Indiana. Oh,
Can you imagine that?
that's tough. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think they should be the favorite. Really, the biggest reason for me is I would say the Lakers adding Anthony Davis, but the thing is, though, the supporting cast was not a playoff team or even close without LeBron and or Anthony Davis. Without both of these guys, they were able to get the 8th seed and make the playoffs in the Western Conference. That in itself is an absolute feat. So if you're adding
I mean, the Clippers had the 6th man of the year. So, I mean, that tells you how capable their bench is.
Williams Award.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is.
The Lakers' starting 5 may be better, but the Clippers' team overall, I would say, is probably better.
I still would think the Clippers' starting 5 is better. I really like the Clippers. I mean, you're looking at the Lakers don't have one. They just signed Avery Bradley today, but he's not going to play point guard. They signed Alex Caruso.
It's going to be Rondo.
What?
It's probably going to be Rajon Rondo at the starting.
Rajon Rondo. I mean, yeah, that's the best you probably got. I think the Clippers probably the better starting 5, but I definitely think that they're the favorite.
Even with the addition of Boogie to the Lakers.
Yeah, we're not even sure he's going to start. So I'm not 100% sure that Boogie's going to work with Anthony Davis.
Boy, what a road for Boogie. I mean, that guy could have gotten a max deal with New Orleans and then took a 1-year deal with Golden State. Now he's just taking another smaller 1-year deal. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, who called this? I mean,
it
comes down to this is another reason why I'm not a huge Kyrie guy. Same reason I'm not a huge DeMarcus Cousins guy. You can have all the talent in the world and be a superstar. Those guys are absolute studs. But their team isn't better when they're on the floor. So I really think that is a huge detriment to their value. Moving on. I don't want to get too much into it because I'll get heated. Looking at the other side of this, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Do you like this trade for them? And where does this put them in terms of maybe making the playoffs, keeping Russell Westbrook? Do they want to move him? Do they want to rebuild? What do you – first of all, let's start with, do you like what they got for Paul George?
This is a position the Thunder haven't been in since the team has been in Oklahoma City. Yeah. I mean, they had Russ, they had KD, they had James Harden in OKC.
I mean, there wasn't immediate success, but they grew. So
yeah, exactly. They've never had to totally just restart like I think they're going to have to now. I mean, Sam Presti, he was like, I got Paul George back. I locked him up. This is it. This is our team. Paul George is like, I got to go back home. I can't, like I said earlier, I can't pass this opportunity up. This is just, and I mean, so Sam Presti's like, I mean, I get it. I mean, so I'm just going to take all these draft picks. It's time to completely restart.
Well, let me ask you then, is it more of, you think Paul George wanted out, or is it more of Sam Presti pulling the plug on Russell Westbrook?
I think it was more of Paul George wanting out. But here's the interesting part, though. Sam Presti tried to trade Russell Westbrook with him to Toronto.
For Pascal Siakam.
But Toronto was like, no, we just want Paul George. That's all. They're like, no, we just want Paul George. We don't want Russ too. Because Toronto was like, well, we already have Damian Lillard. We only need Paul George to keep Kawhi. Kawhi just wants Paul George. That's why we don't need Russ. So that's what's really interesting is that he's like, well, I don't need Russ if I don't need Paul George, because then it's just Russ by himself again, and I don't want to have to go through that again.
So that says something about Westbrook.
Does it, though? I mean, that's interesting because KD's left, Paul George is left. I mean, James Harden is left. I don't know. I do think the majority is that Paul George wanted to play with Kawhi in LA. I do think that's the biggest factor. Actually, here's another question. Sorry, I'm getting off. But here's another question. Do you think NBA players have way more power than ever before right now in today's age?
We have this question, and we will get to that at the
Oh,
end.
okay. I didn't see that. Okay, we do have that question.
I have a gist of it kind of down here.
Okay.
Got that going. Yeah.
But yeah.
Go ahead.
So going back to what you said, I think it's time to totally just rebuild, restart, and that's a position they haven't been in before. So we'll see how they play through it.
Okay, so going off of that, should the Thunder move on from Russ Westbrook completely? And where would he fit if they were to do so? Because the word's out that he wants to be traded and or the Thunder want to trade him.
See, I think Thunder fans really like him. I mean, he's their guy. He's been their guy forever. I mean, so I don't think they necessarily want to trade him, but I think they need to and are kind of on the standpoint of, we don't want to let you go, but we kind of have to let you go to really get to where we need to be in the future. We have to get something back for you. You can't just be here by yourself because I don't know how many guys we can put around you to be successful. I mean, really. Yeah. And so the question of where he would fit, I mean, I could see it really depends on who can offer him up the most. Maybe Miami, maybe Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, teams like that where they could use a point guard and could potentially give up some younger guys to the Thunder to kind of just restart, truly. But I don't know where that's going to be. I would like to see him in Miami. I think that could be intriguing with him and Jimmy Butler together, but that's just from a fan standpoint, more or less than a business standpoint.
I did call as soon as the Trailblazers series was over that I think it was time to move on from Russell Westbrook. I believe in that still. There's no reason for me not to, especially with what the Thunder are showing me.
Isn't that crazy? Damian Lillard's buzzer beater is just putting an end to this entire
franchise. Ended this franchise.
It's completely just restarting their whole franchise.
But as to where he would fit, and I know they signed Derrick Rose already this offseason, I still think Detroit would be a great place. So,
and then Blake Griffin?
Yeah, and Andre Drummond. People forget about Andre Drummond, and he's only 24. Hilarious. Feels like he's been in the league for forever.
Yeah.
But one thing about this, and wow, it is storming like crazy out here. That's why it's very dark in this room.
Okay, I was like, that's crazy.
It is storming like crazy outside.
You usually rely on natural light, but that's wild.
You did not hear that?
I didn't hear that.
Like, oh my God, massive thunderclap. I cannot believe you didn't hear that. Wow.
That's kind of
okay. Sweet. Back to this.
Speaking of thunder.
Speaking of thunder. Hey, nice. Where he would fit, I think Detroit would be a great fit for him because you have Russell Westbrook, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond. They're going to make you the playoffs in the East. Russell Westbrook has been confirmed that he's not going to win you a title being the best player on the team. Go to Detroit, sell the tickets, get Detroit back to a popular spot, not just for free agent destinations, but just to revive the city from a basketball standpoint a little bit. Russell Westbrook going there is going to do just that. Russell Westbrook is an icon. He is Allen Iverson of our generation. I wouldn't say Allen Iverson wasn't exactly our generation. He's a little bit behind us, but he is going to be a legend. Triple-double. This is the guy. This is one of the most athletic point guards. Him and Derrick Rose, ironically. Mm-hmm. Two most athletic point guards we've ever seen play the position. Go to Detroit. Go make some money. Just go make the playoffs. Go be competitive a little bit. We know we were not going to a title contender because most of these guys are set with point guards. And they're not going to want Russell Westbrook. So that's the only fit that I see, a playoff contender, rather than going to one of these bottom half teams.
That would be really fun. Yeah, because, I mean, you may not win a title with that team, but you put that team back on the map. I mean, that's a potential free agent destination, and there's a lot of history with that team. There's some free agents who'd like to play there.
Yeah, and let me say, there is some good rebounding there to get all the missed shots that Russell Westbrook's going to throw up. Andre Drummond's probably the best rebounder in the NBA outside of Rudy Gobert and Blake Griffin. I know that sounds like I'm making fun of Russell Westbrook, but that is a good fit, I believe. Okay.
So does that just leave Steven Adams in OKC then?
It does. Yeah, it does. He has a terrible contract anyways, which I never thought that he was even close to being worth. I think if it's expiring, I think he's on the tail end of it. You're more inclined to move him and really just tank this one out because you need that contract. If you have an expiring contract for a good young player, and he's a good young player, he's not a great young player, good young player. You can move him, get some value back for him, and then you're in a good position for the future. But
Yeah.
right now they're in purgatory. What are you going to do? It's tough. So okay, so with the West being so freaking deep, we are going with right now our top 8 seeds. Now these are obviously subject to change. The closer we get to the season, injuries happen, more trades, maybe some more signings. These are our top 8 seeds in the Western Conference. Who we think is making the playoffs? Awesome. In order.
So, okay, in order. So this is just crazy how everything's just so different. There's not really maybe one super team. There could have been the greatest super team of all time if Kawhi would have went to the Lakers, but he elected to not. So it's just crazy. So you have now 3 pairings of top 15 players probably in the league together. So Irving and Durant obviously in the East, and then you have Anthony and LeBron in the Lakers, Leonard and George in the Clippers, and then Steph and Clay and Draymond. Then you have Embiid, Simmons, and Harris, and then you have it's just Kemba and Jason Tatum in Boston. Milwaukee, Giannis probably has the weakest out of the teams that I'm mentioning, but he's the freaking MVP, so it doesn't matter. And then you have Jimmy Butler in Miami. Toronto will still be pretty good. I mean, they're just losing Kawhi, and that's still a playoff team. And then you have CP3 and Harden. They may not like each other, but they play well together, and so that's a playoff team. Utah, of course, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell. It's pretty unbelievable. And then, of course, Jokic and Murray, Lillard and McCollum. This is great. This is so great.
It is.
So for my number one, I'm gonna bet on the best player in the world being the best player in the world. I think that if he's at his 100%, I think he could seriously win MVP. I think he could put on a serious year with some new guys. He really played well with Kuzma last year, and just having a big guy down there like Anthony Davis, who I think is probably one of the top 5 best players in the league. That's a great teammate to be with for LeBron. And so I'll put them at number 1. Number 2, Kawhi. I mean, Kawhi and Paul George. I don't know how 100% Paul George is going to be, but I don't know how 100% LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to be. So it's kind of interesting, but I will put them at the 2 seed just because Kawhi is a beast. And I feel so bad for San Antonio for making him leave because, my goodness, what a loss. Number 3, I actually have Portland. I think the way that Damian Lillard, I love his attitude. Did you see what he said with Rachel Nichols before the NBA Summer League game? He says, I'm not a big fan of teaming up, but guys who do make me play harder. He likes playing against those type of teams. He likes playing against those 2 guys that are together. So I love his attitude and the way that he played at the end of last season. I think he could have a really good year, maybe a case for MVP throughout the whole year, really. I put James Harden and Chris Paul together in Houston at the 4 seed. I just think their brand of basketball is so different than everyone that it's just tough to beat, really. It's just I'm going to ISO you one-on-one. Now I'm going to kick it out for a 3. No one else really plays like them in the whole league. And so they're just really hard to beat in that standpoint. 5, I put Golden State. I don't know how healthy Klay Thompson's going to be, when he's going to come back. But Steph is Steph. I think he's the greatest shooter of all time. He's won an MVP. He's won so he's won a couple finals, obviously. So I have them at the 5 seed. And that could really be interchangeable between Houston, these teams right here, Houston, Golden State, and then Utah is my 6 seed. Mike Conley doesn't really have a whole lot of playoff experience, but he's a beast. Donovan Mitchell's still young. Mike Conley does
quite a bit. Not finals and
exactly.
Finals.
Donovan Mitchell's still young. Rudy Gobert is obviously a monster, but there's some other monsters in the West as well that he's going to have to battle with. Speaking of Nikola Jokic in Denver, I have as the 7 seed. They don't really have a superstar lineup, but they were the 2 seed last year, and did really well. So even without that superstar lineup, they're still going to be a playoff team. And then number 8, I have the Dallas Mavericks. I think a lot of people are forgetting about Porzingis is now there. I mean, that was their free agent. I mean, they didn't really do anything else, but that was their free agent. That's all they wanted. So they're fine. And then Doncic obviously winning Rookie of the Year. So I think they got to be in the playoffs as well. So I mean, really, a lot of these could be interchangeable. But I'm really betting on LeBron having a healthy year, and I think if he does, I think he could win MVP. No bias whatsoever, obviously. This is an Anthony Davis jersey, it's not a LeBron jersey. Which is so unfortunate, man. This dude has cost me so much money over the years. Cleveland the first time, Miami, Cleveland again, Lakers, and now another Lakers. That's 5 jerseys I bought for you, LeBron. Come on, man. You're killing me.
I have no words. That's tough. For me, we have very, very different lists. My number 1, Los Angeles Clippers. I think the most talent. You have 2 guys that play the exact brand of basketball. Team that was already fit that exact brand that they had played. Insert those 2. I think you're going to have a Hall of Fame coach probably. And I think you have probably 2 future Hall of Famers on that team now. So I think Los Angeles Clippers is number 1. Number 2, Utah Jazz. I've been telling you how much I love the Mike Conley move. They gave up scraps and got back a huge prize from Memphis. So Mike Conley is the exact thing that they needed at point guard in Utah, because Ricky Rubio can play make a little bit, but that was really the most.
Did he end up in Phoenix?
He ended up in Phoenix, signed a really bad contract there. So Michael Conley is a shot creator. He had a lot of what kind of Kemba Walker had to do, except Mike Conley's more of a passer, more of a playmaker. That's exactly what the Utah Jazz needed. Get Rudy Gobert, get him those lobs, get Donovan Mitchell the ball in space, make him make plays. I love the Utah Jazz. Number 3, I had the Denver Nuggets. Now, they were the 2 seed last year, so I'm very surprised that they're the 7 seed for you, which is crazy to me how they dropped. You dropped from 5 spots, but I won't knock it too much. I have them at number 3. This is the year Nikola Jokic usurps his way into the top 5 of NBA players in the NBA. That's I love this kid. He's a playmaker. He does everything. He shoots the ball extremely well. He can score anywhere. The only problem is that he doesn't look like a superstar. That's the only thing that people can knock him on. So I love the Denver Nuggets. They have a lot of room to grow. Michael Porter Jr. might be back. We'll see how he does. Then number 4,
I forgot about him, to be honest.
Right, exactly. And they got Bol as well. So that's another project that they have. I have the Los Angeles Lakers at number 4. The thing is, though, the reason I don't think that they're going to be that great of a regular season team is because this is probably the thinnest of all of the NBA teams. And I'm including like the bottom of the line teams. Their bench sucks. The Los Angeles Lakers bench is absolute garbage. So they're going to have to make up for it with LeBron and Anthony Davis. But the problem is you're one small injury away from being a borderline playoff. One of those 2 goes down, you might not make the playoffs again. That's the problem that they're going to have. But I have them at number 4. I believe they will make the playoffs. I don't think either of them will get injured again. So if they would, I think it will be LeBron if they do. But Golden State at number 5. Steph being his own guy for a little bit, him and Draymond, I think they're going to struggle quite a bit. Guys are going to catch up to him. And then Klay Thompson coming back. I think this will be the hot team going into the playoffs with Klay Thompson.
Okay.
So I have Golden State at number 5. Number 6, I have Houston. Not really a whole lot going on, just a gradual decline because of how great everyone else has been. But at the same time, Houston was this close twice to Golden State at full strength. So that tells you a lot. So Houston has just as good of a chance as anybody to win the title. Number 7, I have Portland. Again, just a gradual decline because the rest of the league has gotten so much better. Not a whole lot's changed. I got Hassan Whiteside. That's a good rebounder for him. Number 8, I have the Sacramento Kings. This is a team that showed me a lot of promise. They got rid of a guy that I think has been one of the laziest players in the NBA, and Willie Cauley-Stein, going to Golden State. I think they're finally ready to get over the hump. Sacramento's ready to make the playoffs, break that huge drought that they've had. De'Aaron Fox is a superstar in the making. Cauley-Stein just trashed on it. Marvin Bagley III is going to have a great season. Harrison Barnes signing once again. He played okay there in the second half for him. I really like Sacramento this year, so I think 8 seed. Okay. Last topic on the NBA. We'll move on. So you've been seeing these players have a tremendous amount of power that you alluded to earlier, having probably the most power they've ever had in the NBA. So, do you like the players having the power and being able to move anywhere that they please, or do you like when the players stay? And is it good for the NBA?
I think it's good for the NBA that players move around because I think it creates a lot more fan interest and a lot more just shaking it up rather than bad teams always being bad, good teams always being good. Yeah, I mean, it shakes it up a lot. Players want to go home. Players want to play with other guys who they've made friends with. I mean, Kawhi wanted to play with Paul George from LA. KD wanted to play with Kyrie because they became best friends over playing together on the Olympics. So I like that. It's just I don't know if I like or dislike how much power the players have because I think it's kind of childish. But I get it. But I still think it's kind of childish to say I want out, and if I don't get traded out, then I'm just gonna pout and just not be helpful to the team. Right. That's kind of like, I mean, you signed a contract. Most people, when they sign a contract, they honor it and be like, well, I'm here. I signed the contract. But now it's like, that doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't matter anymore. So I don't know if it's really good or not because I get it. I mean, I get it. You want, Paul George is like, I want to go back home. I mean, and play with a guy from my home. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. But still, from the standpoint of, man, I just signed a contract. It's kind of sucks that I'm like, oh, I just signed with you, but I don't want to be here anymore. Or right. Anthony Davis, like, I don't like it here. I don't want to be here anymore. Or Kyrie, I don't like it anymore here. I don't want to be here. I don't really like that because it seems kind of childish to me, but I get it.
Yeah, I agree 100% with all of that. It's tough to really regulate the players because if a guy doesn't want to be there.
I mean, to keep them there, then they're just – I mean, they're not much use because they don't want to be there.
Right. They're useless. Is it good for the league? I think it is because it does it creates more fan interest. But I don't know because
like
really
this year, for example, you may have the most watched NBA season of all time because there's no real super team. Right. Anyone could win it.
Right. Because the NBA regular season is really boring. You're not going to watch a Charlotte-Orlando Tuesday night basketball game. It doesn't really happen that much unless you're a diehard fan of that fan base. So I don't really know if it affects any of that. I think it probably is good for the league in terms of revenue, guys moving around, creating interest. The fact that we're still talking about basketball, MLB All-Star break is today. It started yesterday, and we're still talking about basketball. That's probably a good thing for them. It's just it's tough. I mean, I like it when players stay. I like Tim Duncan's. I like Kobe Bryant's. I like those guys. But it's just you also at the same time you can't ask for loyalty when these owners are trading guys and these owners and these GMs are trading guys like they're nothing. Like DeMar DeRozan gets moved. So you can't expect this. You can't expect loyalty in guys.
You think that's part of the problem? What you just said, that players feel like they're just pieces in an owner's just chess game, and so they're like, I mean, you're just using me however you want, so I'll just do what I want.
It has a lot to do with this generation and what we are living in right now. More individualism with every single guy that says, you know what, I'm going to get what I want because you've been doing what you want, moving us, doing all these sort of things that aren't good for us, but it's good for you and you think it's good for the team. I think that has a lot to do with it. I do not like the player movement personally, but I at the same time, I do. Talking about it, I just like to see the guys who stay with one team their entire career. I think it's poetic. I think you really need to serve the local fan base here in Atlanta. I hope Trae Young stays a Hawk his entire career because that's what I want to see. I want to see this guy get drafted. I want to see him grow up through this system, through the farm here in Atlanta, and I want to see him finish his career in Atlanta. That's what you want to see as a local fan. You're not going to get that. Trae Young's probably not going to play his entire career with the Atlanta Hawks because that's just not how it works anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the MLB. We got the home run derby tonight. You know how it is. The home run derby is the most exciting thing in sports. Or is it? Just kidding. Okay, number one, we have Matt Chapman. He replaced Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich had a back injury, so Matt Chapman officially gets the number one seed going against number 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through. We're going to predict the winners, but we're going to go through each bracket like it is, like they're going against each other tonight. So first matchup, Matt Chapman, number 1 versus number 8, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Well, I mean, Vladimir Guerrero is kind of my guy. I mean, I knew he was going to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, like he's going to. I know exactly who he is.
I think Brandon Lowe has a lot to say about that.
I mean, he's the youngest participant in Derby history. He's only 20 years old, and that's a record. Broken. Ken Griffey Jr. was the last one to do it. Yeah. So, I mean, based on the numbers here, I really wish Christian Yelich would have been in it. I really do. But I think I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to go with the 8 seed. I think there's a lot of hype around this kid, and I think he could feed off the energy because he gets a lot of attention just based on his name. So I think he could feed off the crowd and have a good performance.
I'm going to go the other way here. There's a lot of pressure because it's
True.
one thing. It's one thing when you're tearing it up in batting practice. It's another thing when that cage comes back. They roll that cage back, and next thing you know, it's just you and the crowd, and you got to hit these home runs.
Don't you think it's a lot of pressure for Chapman though too to replace the number 1 seed?
No, there's no pressure at all because everyone's betting on Vladimir Guerrero. Everyone. So he has zero pressure. The 1 seed, that's literally just home runs hit. And obviously he doesn't have that number 1 seed. It's like it's not even there. Everyone's betting on this kid. So Matt Chapman, zero pressure. I think he's going to cruise in this first round. Okay, second round. Alex Bregman, third baseman for Houston Astros. Center fielder, Jock Peterson from the Los Angeles Dodgers.
So I'm going to go ahead and go with Alex Bregman in this one. He doesn't have the biggest stature out of everyone in this home run derby, but it doesn't really matter because he's so effective. He has such great technique when he's going through, and he knows how to get it over. He may not crush. I mean, his longest home run was 440 feet, which isn't just crushing the baseball. He just knows how to get it over. And I think he can get into a rhythm because that's the biggest key with this. You just get into a rhythm and you just keep going. Crack. I'm going to go with Bregman on this one.
Jock Peterson's rookie year, we saw him in the home run derby, and he killed it. This is the guy with the most pure power of anyone in this competition. I think Jock Peterson obliterates Alex Bregman in this round. I love Jock Peterson in this one. So that brings us to, for me, it's Matt Chapman versus Jock Peterson. For you, we bet exact opposites. Vladimir Guerrero, Alex Bregman. Let me say this. I predicted the right winner the past 3 years of this thing. I'm kind of good at this. So
well, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. It's okay.
Yeah, for you. So we'll go to the other side here real quick. We'll go with number 2, Peter Alonso, first baseman, New York Mets, versus Carlos Santana, Cleveland Indians designated hitter.
I'm going to go with the hometown guy. He spent 9 of his 10 big league seasons here in Cleveland. And he has 97 career home runs in this stadium. So he knows it well. He's going to have the crowd on his side.
What side will it hit from?
That's true. The switch hitter is 75% of his home runs have been on the left side.
It's got to be from the left because
I'm going to say it's on the left side.
The left side because that left field in Cleveland is a huge wall to get it over. One reason why Alex Bregman is going to struggle.
MLB really. So yeah, I'm gonna say from the left side, and I'm gonna go with the hometown guy. I feel like a hometown guy always gets through the first round.
Okay, we're disagreeing once again. Here's the reason. I've actually seen Peter Alonso in batting practice. I went to a Braves-Mets game. I saw this guy absolutely destroy the freaking ball. I've never seen someone hit a ball so far in my entire life. I don't know if this is a normal thing because no one else on the Mets was doing that beside him. So I'm going with Peter Alonso. the righties are going to have a tough time tonight because that left wall in left field for Cleveland is a really tough one to get it over. One reason why I think Alex Bregman is going to struggle, he doesn't really have that crazy power. He hits line drives, and it's tough to get it over that wall. So I'm going with Peter Alonso. Last round that we got in the first time, it's number 3, Josh Bell, first baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates, versus number 6, Ronald Acuna Jr. Also, which side is Josh Bell going to hit from?
That's true. We talked about how I like guys with power. That's why I'm sad Jorge Soler isn't in it. Josh Bell is a guy with some serious power. The longest home run he's hit this season was 474 feet. And his hardest hit home run was 116 miles per hour off the bat. So this guy just has sheer amount of power. I think it could be trouble to just get into a rhythm maybe because he's just absolutely crushing it every time. The benefit for him, though, is that he'll be able to get the bonus time. He's going to hit one of those long balls that's going to give him bonus time. Well, I don't know if Ronald Acuna will have that. So I'm going to go with Josh Bell on this one. I think this guy could win the whole thing, honestly.
I'm going to agree with you there a little bit. But I'm going to go with Ronald Acuna just for debate's sake because I want to disagree on all.
Okay, we've got a completely different list then.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with Ronald Acuna Jr. The thing is, Ronald Acuna is the better hitter. This guy is – Ronald Acuna can hit the ball anywhere it is pitched.
You can put it now,
where does that benefit him in the home run derby? Maybe one of the guys isn't throwing the ball extremely well. These things happen. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds kind of silly. But that's an actual factor that you have to put into this. So I'm going to go with Ronald Acuna Jr. It's a guy that has opposite field power more than almost anyone in the MLB right now. And he has the fastest hands I've ever seen in my life. I mean, just the guy that can go from 0 to there. Just from a hands up there to right at the ball. Unbelievable. I'm going with Ronald Acuna. So,
all right.
For you, Vladimir Guerrero versus Alex Bregman in the first round. Or the second round, rather.
I'm also going to go with Guerrero Jr. on this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, again, if he can get the crowd on his side, that's the biggest thing. He gets the crowd on his side, gets into a rhythm, I think that'll really help him. He's just he likes the. So I'm reading here in the article. He likes the ball down when he's pitched. So if he has
that,
it's a factor. So if his pitcher is it his dad pitching?
I don't know, but his dad loved the low ball. I know that.
Yeah. So if he can get a pitcher that gives him that low ball, he can just absolutely crank it. And I don't think that left field wall would be an issue for him. So I would go with Guerrero, where Bregman might struggle after a while.
Let me say, guys that have the sweet spot that is more on the inner half of the plate tend to do better. Because guys that want to get their arms extended, first of all, they tire out, and your timing has to be absolutely perfect. All of the power is right in here. It's right in the hands, right in.
So if you're reaching outside for it, that's a little tougher.
Exactly. So. For me, that brings Jock Peterson versus Matt Chapman. I think Jock Peterson obliterates Matt Chapman too. I think this is the guy that you're looking at is just
wow.
How is he not one of those circus acts? Says, how far can this man hit the ball? He's walking around making some serious cash. I think Jock Peterson walks his way to the finals. So I'm definitely going Jock Peterson.
All right. Okay.
For you, on the other side, you have Carlos Santana versus Bell.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Josh Bell on this one again. He has more home runs on the left side, which you and I talked about. And again, I just like the guys with a lot of power. He is only the second Pirates hitter of all time to have 25 home runs by the All-Star break. This guy's just a monster. So I think he also walks into the final, taking out the hometown guy.
Okay. For me, that brings Peter Alonso and Ronald Acuna Jr. I think Peter Alonso kills Ronald Acuna Jr. in this one. I mean, I love Acuna, and I love the Mets-Braves rivalry, but I've seen unspeakable things that Peter Alonso does to a baseball. I'm going with Peter Alonso. So for you have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Josh Bell, which I think would probably be the most viewed finals in home run derby history.
It would be.
Yes.
Boy, this is tough. I would probably say Josh Bell again. He has. I feel like I'm just being a dead horse here. Like, I like guys who can just absolutely crush it. He finds a sweet spot that he likes from his pitcher. I think just truly, I don't know who can compete with this guy from a power standpoint. If he's just getting into a rhythm, he's going to get bonus time. That helps out tremendously. So I'm going to go with the Pirates player to win it all.
Okay. For me, that brings up Peter Alonso and Joc Pederson. I'm going with Joc Pederson. This is the guy that I think, once again, I think he has the most raw power. Not the best hitter. I think he has the most raw power of any of these guys. And I think not a lot of people understand. I don't think a lot of people know that. Joc Pederson, even though he's a Los Angeles Dodger,
only has 20 home runs on the season. So a lot of people are like, he's only got 20.
Right. Exactly. No. This is a guy that can really get in a rhythm. We saw his rookie year when he came up. He wasn't a great hitter that year, but he can hit for power. This is a guy that's built for the home run derby. I think Joc Pederson walks through this home run derby competition.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going out on a limb.
Very high on Joc Pederson.
I'm very high on Joc Pederson tonight. And Peter Alonso, I'm very high on him because I've seen him firsthand. But the rookies are hard to bet on. So I wouldn't be surprised if Carlos Santana beat him in the first round, especially the hometown guy going against Peter Alonso. Okay. Top 5 list. We got top 5 most exciting sports or plays in sports. And then we got top 5 pizzas. Let's go with the sports one first. Austin, take it away.
So top 5 most exciting plays. We have some similar ones on here. I go with just doesn't even matter who's playing, doesn't matter the teams. You get hype whenever you see it. You're like, hold on, let me rewind and watch that again because did that just really happen? A knockout. What we just saw in the UFC, what was it, Saturday night?
5-second knockout.
Yep. Flying knee to the head, gone. You're like, hold on, rewind. Did that just happen? Was that it? He's gone. Just absolutely knocked out. I think it's honestly just so crazy when they do the slow-mo of knockouts, and it's just like they're just gone. You're just like soul has left their body, and you're like, they are not there. Are they still alive? Yeah. And then they come back like nothing happened. You're like, whoa. You got hit so hard, you literally don't know where you're at. That's just so fascinating to me. It's amazing. 4, I have the poster dunk. If you can get a really good I really like when, just from a sports broadcaster standpoint, when broadcasters, especially on TV, they'll just be talking about something and they stop everything because of a poster dunk. They're just talking about, oh, how's your day? Oh my God. It's just like, did you see that? Like just out of nowhere. Yeah. Like some of Jordan's best quoting moments of all time for some poster dunks back in the Bucco days with Johnny Lindsay. My God. Yeah. Just, there's nothing better. You get a guy full on, I'm dunking on top of you and it doesn't matter. I'm going to talk trash all the way down the court. Incredible. Number 3, I have the Hail Mary. I always think Aaron Rodgers when it comes to this. Guys like, last second, this is it. There's no other option than to just launch it towards the end zone. And it's so rarely completed that when it happens, you don't believe it. You're like, I can't believe that. Did that really just work? Or I think this is also could be similar to like you playing like Fumblerooski or what Dolphins did to the Pats. It's just a last second, like, this is our last chance. We have to do something, and it works. And you're just like, wait, what? No way. Number 2, I have a walk-off home run. I was talking about this with one of my lifeguards, actually. And I don't know why, but it was like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a bottom of the 9th inning, Game 7 in the World Series, you're down by 3, bases loaded, 3-2 count, 2 outs, boom, game winner. Can you imagine? What's better than that? I don't know what's better than a walk-off home run. No walk-off hit even, I think, is exciting. It's just so great. And then number 1, I have a buzzer beater. I'm a basketball guy. It's what you do when you're 5 years old and you're parking in your driveway 5, 4, Kobe, 3, it's what you do. Michael Jordan, I mean, all these guys. LeBron, it's my favorite. Kawhi, most recently, is the biggest one people think of. It's my number one. It's something you're like, you don't care who it is. You're just like, that was awesome. They just won the game on that. Can't believe it.
Yeah. We have pretty much all of the same ones, pretty much close to it. We have walk-off at number 2. I kind of was more broad. I went with home run at number 5. People love to see the ball fly out of the park. So number 5, home run. Number 4, Hail Mary. This is certainly the most suspenseful one because you throw it up and, you've seen the movies where it's just slow motion. Everyone's watching the ball and, you're waiting for the reactions of it, if it's going to be completed. Yeah. You got the guys going up slow motion, going up for the catch, and it's a whole thing. So Hail Mary, number 4, it's just the most suspenseful play. Rarely ever works. Number 3, I have the poster dunk as well. It really is one of those things where you have to stop what you're doing at all times and watch it. You have to see it. So I got number 3, poster dunk. Number 2, I have the knockout. I think probably of the things on our list, the quickest one that can happen. Some knockouts are kind of elongated, but knockout can be just like that. Bam. I mean, truly just a snake bite away. Bam. You're done. You're gonna wake up in a hospital. Number 1, I have the stolen base. Now this one is disappearing from the major leagues, and that's a travesty. I hate to see it. This also really includes stealing home base too, home plate, because that is a play that is absolutely bat. You know what? You just did that. You stole third to home plate.
I always think of the Sandlot. I always think of the Sandlot at the end. He's like, the Jets stole home. The Jets stole home.
I think of 42, the Jackie Robinson movie.
Oh yeah,
he steals home in when he's playing with the Monarchs.
Yeah,
steals home like it's absolutely nothing. Now this includes first, second, and third, stealing second, third, and home rather, because it's such a fast play and the tag is so quick. It happens so often. A lot of these are pretty rare. Home runs aren't really that rare. Walk-offs are, Hail Mary, poster dunk, knockout. Those are much more rare than stolen bases. Stolen bases are just bang, bang. What just happened? Now you're in scoring position. The game is completely changed. Yeah. It has such an implication on the game. So I think stolen base, number 1. It's a shame that's dying. Okay. Top 5. Pizzas. You know what we're talking about. And we did not include any local places. I've heard that there's one by Austin that's really good. I can't think of the name right now. That my brother Austin really enjoys. It's like in Lawrence. It's in Lawrence or something like that. So no local places. We're going with kind of the broader chain.
There's a lot of good pizza.
A lot of good
local.
So
yeah.
Austin, take us away.
So yeah, with speaking of the change, I like pizza buffets. So I went with my favorite pizza, Cece's, has a really good pizza buffet. I just have good pizza, and they can kind of make what you want a little bit. And it's good. I think what's best is they have a really good dessert pizza that I really, really enjoy. And so I had to put them on the list for that reason. Number 4, I have Papa John's. And this is different in the way they have kind of like dipping sauce. Like you can dip it in like the garlic butter or, whatever. And that's kind of unique. And it's pretty good, really. And it's just a classic. Number 3, I have Casey's Pizza on here, actually. They're definitely around my area in Northwest Missouri State. There's a lot of Casey's around there. It's kind of a staple of Iowa, so it's like everywhere in Iowa. There's quite a few of them here in Kansas, and it's kind of like gas station, but it's so much better. Like their slogan is Casey's, we're known for pizza. Like that's a pretty big deal when you're a gas station chain, but pizza is definitely a big, big part of your whole chain.
Let me ask you, and I don't know the answer to this question. We were talking about this earlier. Is Casey's really that good, or are you just expecting cardboard?
Pleasantly surprised, maybe?
Right. Like, is it just, well, that's not as bad as I thought. Is it that good, or is it just like, this is actually just good pizza? I
think it could be a mixture of both. Like, if you said one way, I would be like, I understand that, but I truly just think it is good pizza.
Okay, so here's the true test. if we were blindfolded and we tried all of these pizzas, would Casey stand out?
I think it would. I think it would
so.
For me, I think it would.
We have to do it. We have to try it.
Boy, I mean, we're going to be in Atlanta. Is there Casey's around there?
I don't know.
You said there's a Freddy's, which I couldn't believe. So
there's
I mean,
Freddy's. There's a couple of them, but one that's kind of close, and it's not really that close. But I want to go back.
But you go there anyway.
I do.
Number 2, I have Pie 5. It's where you can go and you can put whatever you want on your pizza. It's like a Subway for pizza is really what it is. And they have like a chicken pizza that I want. And the biggest thing that I like about Pie 5, so I'm a big fan of like grated cheese that you sprinkle on. They have this, it's called Pie Dust. And it's called Magic Dust, actually. It has like all kinds of crazy seasonings, and it just makes the pizza that much better. For some reason, something it's like the seasonings that are in it and the cheese with it. Because every pizza I go to, I always get the grated cheese that you sprinkle on it. Because I always do that. And so they have that some kind of magic dust that just really makes it for me. And then number 1, I'm a big Pizza Hut guy. It's convenient. I think it tastes great. And they have the best deals. It's very convenient to order. And so I think it's the best out of all of these. It's my number 1. It's what my family always gets. It's always the best for me. So I don't care if you think it's wrong, because it's not. So.
Oh, man. Okay. We'll get to it. Number 5, I also have CiCi's Pizza. Also because it's kind of unique. It's kind of the one thing to where no one's really liked CiCi's. It tastes completely different. It's a buffet. It's kind of you do your own thing. I like CiCi's. Number 5. Number 4, price has also a lot to do with this as well, because this is the cheapest and the best pizza you can get for that price. Little Caesars at number 4. Hot and Ready's, little personal pan pizzas. You get them. They may not be the best pizza you've ever had, but it's really good for the price, and it's very, very cheap. So Little Caesars number 4, and it's really quick. That's the quickest pizza place of all of them, bar none. That is quickest. I mean, it's insane. It's like everything's free. I mean, I like convenience.
Yeah, but I like things that are made right and made well. Pizza shouldn't be a quick thing. It should be a 20-minute thing.
You just said that.
It should be a 20-minute thing.
You put pizza at number 1, you just said that.
Pizza Hut's like a 20-minute thing.
Pizza, nope. You don't know how wrong you are. You don't know how wrong you are.
What do you eat?
If
you order a pizza, it'll be like, all right, it'll be ready in 20 minutes. You come get it.
Right. That's fine. Okay. We'll get to it. Number 3. Papa John's. We 100% agree with this one. Also cheap. Very consistent ingredients. You know what you're getting from there. Kind of thinner than the other ones, but I kind of like that. So Papa John's number 3. Domino's at number 2 might be a hot take because they used to be awful. They used to have terrible ingredients, and nothing was fresh. Since the past few years, they've revamped everything. It doesn't taste. I know you don't like Domino's. You have the old Domino's. It doesn't taste anything like that anymore. Domino's is actually legitimately good pizza now, so I have it number 2. Number 1, something that's kind of harder to find, but still considered a chain. Godfather's Pizza. This is the freshest. This is the most authentic, and this is the best ingredients, best overall tasting pizza. You just got to go find one, which is it's tough to do. But Godfather's Pizza, number 1 for sure. Okay. I have a big problem with number 1 for you.
Oh God, here we go.
This is the fakest of all of these pizzas. Now, let me give you, it is convenient. They are consistent. The taste is always consistent. I know what I'm getting from Pizza Hut. It is the fluffiest one. Maybe that's something that you like. It's very fluffy. It is the fakest of all of the pizzas. I've had friends I know how this pizza is literally made. I know people who work there. I've seen it made before. This is not something you want to consume.
Oh my
okay?
God.
It is not real pizza. You say, oh, it's going to take 20 minutes. That does not determine if it's real or fake pizza. You can have pizza at number 1. But I'm telling you, it is not that well liked around the nation. It is just travesty to pizza around the world.
Man, you're a Wichita guy and you're hating on. I can't believe that.
You're right. And you know what? When it first started, I'm sure it was fantastic. But here we are in 2019. It's not the same. It's not the same. And this is something that this is something that I'm passionate about. I've been saying this for years. A lot of people agree with me about Pizza Hut. I'm sorry, dude.
That's fine. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay.
I'll allow you to like pizza at number one, but you won't allow me to have sherbet at number one. Just saying.
I won't. I won't. And the rest of them, you. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I can let you live your life. You won't let me live.
Because mine is pizza. Mine isn't wrong. Yours is ice cream, but your number one isn't ice cream.
So. I really don't want to get into this.
I don't either.
I really don't. There's a lot of things I want to do in this world. This is not one of them. Okay, our Twitter poll question of the day, I think something very compelling. If you're Kevin Durant and you're given the option to revisit your 2015 free agency decision, but you are aware that everything that's going to happen in Golden State was going to happen, do you go somewhere else or do you go to Golden State? So otherwise, do you still go to Golden State knowing that you're going to get 2 Finals MVPs, you're going to tear your Achilles, and you're not going to be very well liked around the league? You're going to be looked at as a villain. Or do you think he would go elsewhere knowing all of that?
I think he would probably do it again.
You think so?
I think he would. I think he would do it again. He wanted to get rings, and he got rings.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got rings, but he's not well respected. He's going to be on the wrong side of 30, coming off an Achilles injury. He's going to be the face of a franchise that might not be ready for him. I don't think he would want to do that.
I think he would do it again. I think the only reason he went there is for rings, and that's what he got.
All right. Okay. Fact or Fiction's back, guys.
Let's go.
I'm not excited for Fact or Fiction as much as I used to be because you've been killing me. 15 of 27. I gotta give it up to you, man. You're almost an automatic 2 of 3. You're doing really well. Okay. Once again, 15 of 27 on the year. Number 1, are you ready?
I'm very ready.
All right. Number 1. It takes 68 days to swim the length of the Mississippi River, or that Pepsi bottles were first sold in paper cups in stores.
Oh my. I feel like 68 days. I feel like you could have messed with the number on that. But I'm gonna say the Pepsi one is real because of that. I think it might be even more than 68 days to swim the length of the Mississippi River. I mean, that's the entire United States. It's got 68 days is a long time though. Wow. I'm gonna say Pepsi bottles.
Okay, you are wrong.
No.
Got the first one. Thank you. It takes 68 days to swim the length of the Mississippi River. Of course, that is assuming that you didn't stop, because obviously a guy like yourself, a strong swimmer, could swim 68 days through, especially upstream.
Well, of course. Yeah. I mean, I probably could do that less. It'd probably take me longer to go downstream.
Right. I always ignore science. All right, number 2. An ocean storm produces over 300% of the amount of water an average land storm receives, or that the National Hot Dog Council ruled that hot dogs are not sandwiches.
I'm gonna say the ocean storm one is real. I feel like that's just such a crazy figure that it's got to be real.
Nope. Oh my God, you 0 for 2.
Oh no.
So hyped. Let's go.
Oh no.
Good job, Jordan.
I've got to get this.
0 for 3 today.
I've got to get this.
Oh man. I don't mean to rub it in. I'm just very excited for myself.
I got to get this. Now I'm really nervous.
Okay. But yes, apparently there is a National Hot Dog Council that is apparently eligible to say that hot dog is not a sandwich. Do you think a hot dog is a sandwich?
I mean, is a burger a sandwich?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Right?
No, it's.
I think it could be a sandwich. Yeah,
I don't what. Did
I think they're both
all sorts of
sandwiches.
confused.
I'll call them both
But
sandwiches.
you really threw me a curveball here. Well, I'll
I'll
figure.
call them both sandwiches.
You think they're both sandwiches?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I don't. There's some.
I'm not a hot dog expert, I guess.
There's some things that are just beyond my
That's
comprehension.
why I'm not on the National Hot Dog Council. You know. What a shame.
What a shame. All right, number 3, and this is for 1 for 3 or 0 for 3. The world's biggest chair, made in Conway, New Hampshire, can fit 2 regulation Abrams tanks on top of the seat. A Belgian pigeon named Armando is worth $1.4 million.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say that the chair. I'm gonna say the chair is real.
0 for 3. I got you today. Man, I brought the heat. I brought the heat. You know, you did okay. I really, man, wow.
I'm still 500 on the year.
You are still 500.
Wow, that hurt.
You're in a beautiful spot though. 500, 15 for 30. You're right there, man. That's good.
Boy, that was a tough day. Well done. That is just that is such a specific thing that. How did you just come up with that?
I looked around. I was sitting right here, and I was like, I'm in a chair. I said, let me think of a random city in a random state. What can I fit on this chair? Why do I do these things?
Oh my God.
I know. I can't. I can't explain it.
My brain. That's unfortunate.
I just have this innate ability to just think of absolutely the stupidest things possible and put them on paper.
Apparently, dude.
I can come up with just the stupidest facts that sound like they're true.
Gosh.
But the thing is, though, I have not been doing good up until today. You've been doing 2 or 3 like the past 3 weeks. So you gotta pat yourself on the back. You've been doing fantastic.
Today wasn't a good day. Not a good day.
It's okay. I think you'll be doing fine. Okay, we're gonna have to end the show. We're gonna wrap it up. I got my bet of the day. Austin, you have your sports history. Why don't you go ahead first?
All right. So today, Ken Griffey Sr. was named the All-Star Game MVP in 1980. And in 1994, a preliminary trial ruled that there is indeed enough evidence to officially put O.J. Simpson on trial. Crazy. Crazy.
Okay, so we're talking about murder on Meet Me Halfway.
Just say that's pretty big day. That's pretty big event.
Okay, I had my bet of the day.
He didn't murder anybody, Jordan. He got away. What do you mean?
What didn't fit?
He didn't murder anybody.
I mean,
come on.
He must have quit.
Someone else did it. We don't know who, but someone else must have.
Absolutely. I mean, come on. So, I had my bet of the day. It was the Jaguars at plus 260 to make the playoffs. Whether they make the playoffs or not, that's a good $10 bet to put on. But right when we were talking, the odds for the home run derby tonight just came out. You have Peter Alonso at plus 400, as well as Josh Bell, Vladimir Guerrero, all plus 400.
Oh, okay.
But truly, the best bet that you can have is Jock Peterson at plus 750. And then you have Matt Chapman at plus 1,200. Talk about no pressure. This guy is not getting any respect whatsoever. So go put $100 on Matt Chapman to win the home run derby tonight. Plus 1,200. Borderline disrespectful to this guy. So substitutes always do well. No pressure. Cespedes was a substitute, a last-minute sub, get into the home run derby. They usually do pretty well. So plus 1,200, Matt Chapman, Jordan's bet of the day. All right. Thank you guys for watching. It has been a great day here in a stormy Georgia-Atlanta day. Crazy what's going on outside for me. Austin, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people.
Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the home run derby tonight. I'm Jordan Griffith, Austin McNorton. Thank you for watching Meet Me Halfway. You guys have a great day.